Hello children, how are you all? Hope you all are feeling fit, fine and healthy. Lila teacher's back again with lots of fun and learning. And now let's welcome Nitin and his mama. Now Nitin's mama continued to read from Dr. Bela's book and Nitin was super amazed and he wanted to know more about the nervous system. So his mama told, okay, I shall read something more about the nervous system. And this time, his mama read about the sensory organs. And Nitin was super excited to learn about the sensory organs. So children, now teacher is going to tell you about the sensory organs. So each and every activity that we do, from smelling a rose to climbing a ladder, depends upon our nervous system. That's right. And our nervous system has three parts. Now let's see which are they. I have already told you that the nervous system has three parts: the brain, the nerves, and the spinal cord. Okay, so the brain, which is the command center, or you can call it as the control center, receives the messages, sorts them out, and stores inside the brain. And second is the network of nerves. Now the nerves relays information from all parts of the body and passes it to the brain. And the spinal cord. The spinal cord is the communication highway which links nerves to the brain. Okay? So these are the three important parts of the nervous system. And now teacher is going to tell you about the sensory organs. Okay, so children, there are 5 sensory organs: eyes, ears, nose, skin, and tongue. Okay, so the 5 sensory organs are eyes, ears, nose, skin, and tongue. Okay, so these sensory organs enable our body to perform important functions. Okay, now let's see and talk about each sensory organs. Okay, first is our eyes. So the sensors in our eyes, okay, they respond to light and through the brain let us see the world around us. Okay, so there are sensors in our eyes, okay, and they respond to the light and they help us through the brain, help us to see everything around the world. And now let us talk about the skin. So children, the sensors in the skin, okay, they respond to touch and this allows us to feel. So when we touch something, we can feel whether the object is rough or smooth, hard or soft, etc. So there are sensors in our skin which respond to touch. So when we touch, we get different feelings of different textures. Now let me tell you about the nose. Okay, so now the sensors behind the nose, okay, they respond to smell and we are able to smell all the different things around us. Okay, so the sensors at the back of the nose, so in the nose the sensors are at the back of the nose, enable us to smell different things. Okay, and now let me show you another sensory organ, that is the ear. Okay, so here you can see children, ear, okay, responds to sound and we are able to hear each and everything loudly and clearly. So our ears is in charge of collecting all the sounds and it processes them and it sends it to our brains. So our ears collects all the sounds, process them and sends the sound signals to the brain. Okay, and now let me tell you about the 5th sensory organs, and that is the tongue. That's right, and it is a very important sensory organ. So children, there are tiny bumps on our tongue. Okay, so you can see there are tiny bumps on the tongue and these bumps are called as taste buds. Okay, what are these called? They are called as taste buds. Okay, and there are 4 different kinds of taste buds. Now, what does this taste buds do? Okay, now these taste buds, they closely attach with the smell detectors to tell us what is there in our mouth. Yes, it connects with the smell detectors and tell us what is there in our mouth. Now I am going to tell you about the 4 taste buds. Okay, so the front part of the tongue, okay, tells us whether the things that we are eating is sweet in taste. Okay, so this is the sweet taste bud, okay, in the front of the tongue. And the taste buds which are at the sides of our tongue tells us whether the things are sour in taste. Okay, so the side of the tongue, both the sides of our tongue tells us the things when we eat are sour in taste. Okay, and the taste buds which are behind, okay, the back side of the tongue tells us the things which are bitter in taste. Okay, so back of the tongue tells us about the bitter taste, and the taste buds in the middle of the tongue tells us whether the things are salty. Yes. So let me tell you one more time. Front side of the tongue tells us sweet taste. Side of the tongue tells us sour taste. Okay. The back of the tongue tells us about the bitter taste, and center of the tongue detects us with the things which are salty in taste. Okay, so these are the 4 taste buds which are there on the tongue. And as I told you, there are small bumps. And what are these bumps called? Taste buds. Super. So children, this was about the sensory organs. And now let's take a quick recap. Here we go. So as I told you about the nervous system, that whatever we do, whichever activities we carry out, from smelling a flower to climbing a ladder, depends upon our nervous system. And the 3 parts of the nervous system are, can you tell me which are the 3 parts? Come on. The 3 parts are the brain, okay, which is the control center, then the nerves, okay, the nerves which relays information from all the parts of the body, and then the spinal cord, okay, which is the communication highway which links nerves to the brain. Okay, and here now let me tell you about the sensory organs. Okay, so first sensory organ is the eyes. Okay, so the eyes respond to light through the brain and help us see everything around the world. Okay, and now the second sensory organ is the skin. Okay, so children, here you can see that the skin responds to touch, and we can feel whatever we touch. Okay, for example, soft, rough, smooth, hard. Okay, so all these are different touches which we can feel when we respond, when the skin responds to touch. And now let us see the next sensory organs. Okay, now the next sensory organ is the nose. So the sensors which are back of the nose help us to smell everything that we put it in front of the nose. Okay, that is, it enables us to smell. Now let us see the next one. And ears, as I told you, ears respond to the sound and helps us to hear. Okay, and you know what, children? The ears collect all the sounds, and what do? They process and send sound signals to our brain. And one more thing about the ears is that the ears also help us to maintain our balance. So now let me show you the next one. And the last sensory organ is the tongue. Okay. So here you can see there are tiny bumps on the tongue. And what are they called? That's right. They are called as taste buds. And how many taste buds are there, children? That's right, 4. That is, in the front of the tongue is the sweet taste bud. At the side of the tongue, there are sour taste buds. Behind the tongue, that is at the back of the tongue, is the bitter taste bud. And in the center of the tongue is the salty taste buds. Okay. So children, I hope you all enjoyed learning about the sensory organs. So there are 5 sensory organs, and which are they? Eyes, ears, nose, skin, and tongue. And each one has a very important job to do. Okay, so all these sensory organs enable us and function it very nicely. Okay, so children, I hope you all had fun learning about the sensory organs. But now it's time for Leela teacher to say goodbye. But I promise to meet you all very soon. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.